formateur, ou là, qui accompagne le policier chantier là dans la question bataille contre le kidnapping. La raison pour laquelle ce matin j'ai posé la question, est-ce que la police qui contrôle la situation? Madame, monsieur, coopération qu'a mené là, qui baptisait opération quarantaine. Et ça fait me poser question matin. Hein? Est-ce que c'est pas contraint que M. Gravigno avec M. Villard de Dieu contraignent pour trêve? Parce que tellement de pression sur tout. Madame, monsieur, ça nous est là à terre dans le pays. Eh bien, il va s'allier dans la question sécurité, dans la question insécurité, dans la question vendre d'âmes, dans la question faire business avec l'âme. Je ne vais pas dire nous, que maintenant tout est actuellement là dans le pays. Même si on a une décision, au fond, vous mettez 4 blocs au montant caille, après ça, lui là avec celui qui dort au collage chaque mois, ou chaque année, c'est même que toujours dit à tout mon frère, ou qu'à décider d'acheter un revolver, ou d'acheter un galil, et pour louer les charges ici à terre.
Et pratique ça, il va aller à Kounia, non?
Allez, mon frère, ça c'est business qui est là, pratiquement dans le pays. Même une information pour le connaître. Business. Moi, je suis dans le louer $100 avec un jour. Si ça me coûte la louer $30 avec un jour. Imaginons là qui gagne 50 manches longues, qui gagne 20 manches courtes. Et ça, c'est pas tes chauliers à terre là, pas tes chauds. Madame, monsieur, mais business ça, il faut regarder, oui, qu'est-ce qu'on fait business?
Ah, mon cache tes hommes.
Ah, il faut regarder, oui, mon fait business. Ça nous est là. C'est pas qu'on y a commencé, et sous côté le sorti. C'est pas moi, nous disons sur le matin débat, pas qu'il y a un hasard là dans le pays. C'est pas comme si soit un hasard, et vous avez des hommes dans le maillot, vous avez des gangs à gauche, gangs à droite. Non! Les gangs, c'est là tout côté dans le pays, il y a sur tout le territoire. Tout le monde met des projecteurs sous le village de Dieu, parce que nous avons plus de graines dans le monde, puis camper devant caméra de télévision, mais devant caméra de téléphone, puis montrer visage, puis montrer Samio, ok? Et de la chose qui est Sam la caillou, qui est la kidnapping dans le maillot, ou pas jamais connaître ça. Village de Dieu, grand ville. N'est-ce c'est flandre, il ouvre koyo, il crié koyo, il montre Samio, il montre l'argent qu'il y a. 400 maozo, il crié koyo. Mais il y a des gens qui construisent dans 6 mois avec l'argent kidnapping.
Mais ça, il y a plus dangereux, oui.
Ah, mon frère.
Parce qu'on marche sur eux, on parle avec eux, on parle devant eux, on ne pas connaître.
On pas connaître, mon frère.
Et même,
vous avez responsable de la doute. Société à la respect.
Salut, je m'appelle Cyril Ortega. Bienvenue chez moi ici à Los Angeles. Écoute, si tu me donnes juste 2 minutes de ton temps, je vais t'expliquer.
Oh, hein?
Ça, c'est sûr, pas
si tu es dans le cas privé de côté dans le pays là, chacun des pour nègres, pompier, il pas pompier.
Ok, quoi?
Et puis c'est un exemple plus criminel dans le pays, madame, monsieur.
Ok, quoi?
l'exemple qui vous a, c'est sûr.
Exemple.
Ça, nous, on a un son débat petit. Ça passe là. Et bien, dans le moment là, madame, monsieur, autant de-t-il applique tout que il va qu'il y ait des gens pour nous, d'accord?
Le monde qui a parlé, c'est les tilapia ou les qui sont là?
Tout dévalé, tout dévalé.
Tout les monde qui vont se parler.
Mario jaune, non.
Des pour well, c'est iso. Des pour pas well, c'est la vie.
Non, well, chita, Mario jaune solide, lunettes, bagaille.
Avec des filles,
Ah, c'est Marozo.
Non,
non,
iso.
Monde de qui, en tout cas. En tout cas, qui s'est passé, madame, monsieur? Opération Katantène, la débranché. La débranché, donc, réseau. Et comme information pour dans le pays, l'arrestation qui fait, là, ou bien, probablement, les pays, faut payer qu'on est. Si on fait arrêter, qui ont fait quitter le pays. Parce que matin, je dis, nous te dit ici, à la matin débat, kidnapping, non, il y a plusieurs étapes. Mon factory, c'est toute ton organisation. Question criminalité dans le pays, madame, monsieur, c'est toute une organisation.
C'est toute une machine.
C'est toute une machine. D'abord, on fait les âmes dans le pays. Ensuite, dédouaner les âmes. Faire munitions dans le pays. Dédouaner munitions. Transporter les âmes. Transporter munitions. Vendre les âmes. Acheter, moun qui pour acheter les âmes. L'argent, moun qui pour toucher l'argent. Et puis après ça, opération qui va faire avec les âmes. Qui c'est criminalité, qui c'est crime. Assassinat, kidnapping. Au pays qui n'a pas de travail. Au pays, population sont très vulnérable. Au pays, quand on vient de la c'est des colons qui n'a pas de rapport à pays, ça, mais qui a de gros connexions internationales, probablement peut-être de pays qui ont été basés. Et puis qui viennent ça comme situation supplémentaire dans tout, qui ça pour le faire, c'est alimenter. Est-ce que la police qui est capable de répondre à cette question? Je dis à tout peuple haïtien d'adouer, faire pression sur l'ambassade américaine. Tout peuple haïtien d'adouer, faire pression sur les États-Unis. Pour ça qu'il a, c'est la pression de plus résoudre. Parce que nous avons certaines responsabilités tout. Parce qu'on a un pays qui a tout. Les terreurs qui participent dans le pays. Nous avons certaines responsabilités.
Mais le colo là, le coteau arrivé à la fin des États-Unis pour bloquer le Québec là, mais son attaque les vignes contre businessman, moun ka fait business.
Ça c'est pas là mon frère.
C'est les États-Unis bloqués.
Clair.
Donc les vignes ont blocage contre moun.
On manque à gagner tout.
Ou vient bloquer business moun, c'est business ça mieux fait.
Bien.
Or est-ce qu'il y a intérêt là pour bloquer moun qui fait business ça?
Oui, justement, est-ce qu'il y a intérêt? Monsieur, ça qui n'a pas permis dans tout ce sélectido.
Ça c'est sous cela.
Nous avons supposé qu'on service d'intelligence.
Ça c'est sous cela, Louko. Mais écoutez, dédouanement, il va avec l'État le fait, il va avec complicité de l'État le fait.
Oui, ça c'est la caille.
Qu'est-ce que c'est ça pour yo, douane yo?
Ça est la caille.
L'État.
Eh bien voilà, l'État.
Qui ça va
c'est sûr que si on file qui a sorti aux États-Unis, qui a prêté dans le pays, la passe tout contour normal. Parce que nous sommes sceptiques.
I was making so much money with DoorDash. I wanted to earn money in my free time, but I didn't want to go out and get a boring 9 to 5. That's when I found.
Les citoyens, et même gens, ouais, qui sont des machines là. L'on là, il y a des machines qui sont plaques, qui. Ouais, yo, avec des gens qui pas les règles pas pour yo. Donc ça veut dire les amis sont sortis l'autre bord. Les vignes là, l'État va connaître les amis rentrés. Non, ça va dépendre de qui est-ce qui met les amis.
Oui, c'est
ça. Qui est-ce qui met les amis? Là, on va connaître les amis rentrés.
Qui pouvoir gagner dans le
droit? Moun ça qui a fait les amis rentrés, yo gagner dans le droit. Mais c'est pas connaître l'État compte tout c'est capoté sur le territoire. Tout bagaille.
OK, donc là dit que monsieur madame, monsieur, comment vous avez obligé de matin de parce que matin de pas la vérité. D'abord nous-mêmes, comme si, ici, matin débat, comme si d'abord nous-mêmes, madame, monsieur, pour on organiser la concours de nègres, ils vont se en otage, et puis ils vont gang, ils vont être le nom. Il kidnappe un tel, c'est moi qui kidnappe un tel. Il kidnappe à gauche, il kidnappe à droite, et puis oui, c'est moi qui fais kidnapper là. Mon même, mais comme complémenté. Comme si, pour nous-mêmes, comme si, son bagage, bon Dieu, il vient le déposer. On va essayer de venir le déposer dans le pays. Non! Et puis, ce problème, toute liberté, tout côté. Et puis, nous pas mettre en tête, non. Qu'on pouvoir que nous avons gagné. Qu'on côté pouvoir ça sortir. Et puis, moun qui t'a censé gérer la question, ou bien mettre l'autre dans les autres là. Et puis, après, moun sa yo passif, yo croisé bras yo. Vous écoutez, matin débat. Fanta poser cette question. Elle dit que ça qu'il a, eh bien, madame, c'est plus que ça. Je dis, est-ce que c'est accepté à faire Haïtien accepter kidnapping comme produit?
Non, mais soit payé non, attendez. Si on paye pour demander fonds poser, après 2 mois encore, ou bien après 3 mois, ou bien par contre après trêve là fini, c'est sûr que vous va retourner la donne. Donc si vous retournez la donne au besoin, vous va louer, bon l'autre trêve encore parce que c'est quand le besoin se fait sentir, le monde qui peut agir, et puis mettre bagaille à terre pour, et ça a besoin de jeune. Maintenant, dans la question de nous avons parlé, nous, les amis pas sorti des États-Unis.
Même les
amis qui sont du Vietnam, les amis qui, l'organe des amis, ces amis qui sont Israël, ou les amis qui sont dans une Europe de l'Est. C'est pas seulement les États-Unis, amis.
Donc Haïti, c'est le marché.
C'est un marché qui est plus facile.
Facile, là, madame, monsieur. Pour la criminalité.
Donc c'est un marché qui est plus facile.
Tout le
monde qui connaît la question des armes.
J'arrive, il y a un Caraïbe qui a problème tout. Ah oui.
Non, mais c'est pas que il n'y a pas de problème.
Ah oui.
C'est sûr.
Le rasso, là, j'ai des problèmes.
Chargé problème. Chargé problème.
Oui.
Mais ça nous gagne là, après, monsieur.
Il dépasse
parce que, vin gagne une facilité dans la question, faire ça rentrer dans le pays, faire munitions rentrer, mais tout le monde qui pas connaît, tout le monde qui n'a trafic, n'a commerce d'armes, il pas connaît, et depuis on vient au courant de marché, il n'y a pas vaille, c'est ça que je dis, amis pas seulement dans sorti dans le marché américain, nous sortir de l'autre côté.
En tout cas, et l'éclair ça qui est là, le politique, là, moi, c'est là-dedans. Qui n'analyse l'IA, madame, monsieur, pour ça, dans le pays comme ça, très blabla. Qui va mener, en fait, le compte des jours, de mois, qui va arriver donc jusqu'à 27 jours de 2021. Pour qui ça?
Il y a une somme qui a circulé, 40 millions, 3 millions, qui a circulé, et qui vient citer,
ok? Donc, ça qui est là, le passé. Donc, c'est marré, c'est une. Parce que, madame, monsieur, la question de la Constitution, je vais tourner dans deux points qui sont de blague maintenant tout. Référendum, non, c'est 2 bagailles là à pays. On oui, on non. Et Constitution qui l'a, comme il y a là, je dis ça déjà. Pendant où il y a une bataille, il y a un débat sur cette Constitution, nous-mêmes qui sommes intellectuels pays, on a allé, ça qui est sous table là, donc installez-vous confortablement, et puis pour nous entrer dans le cause des pays. Et est-ce que l'immense a bien chita sur moi? Parce que, on dirait même pas, parce qu'on va bien parler. Non, mais, mais faut ouais. Maman de quoi? L'immense a bien chita sur moi, faut ouais moi-même. Oui, ok, bien barré. Tout va être clair? Voyons là, ok. Il va check up sur mon bouche. On avance. Et Haïti insécurité. Les chefs de gang à Village de Dieu et Gravine ont-ils été contraints de prendre une trêve et surseoir sur leurs activités criminelles pour 2 mois? La police a-t-elle le contrôle de la situation? Et hier matin, tout, en fait, c'est pas hier matin seulement, c'est pendant tout le week-end, tout. Et jusqu'à matin, là, il y a des gens qui sont capables de remettre de décision que bandit dans le ville avec les bandits dans le village de Jopvenel pour faire trêve. Ils ne peuvent pas kidnapper les gens pendant 2 mois. Ils ne peuvent pas tuer les gens pendant 2 mois. Parce qu'il y a un peu de kidnapping qui fait. Les gens ne sont pas sortis. Ils n'ont pas la vie sauve à partir de kidnapping. Ça va maintenant tout. Jusqu'à minute à parler là, il y a des gens qui peuvent comprendre ça. M'attendez, par exemple, hier soir, je suis Tidor, et Junior Morissette, et dans Washington DC, dans l'audio côté que monsieur a craché déception, toute colère, en tant que citoyen, Junior Morissette qui dit que lui-même, heureusement dehors, mais il va jamais comprendre ce qui a passé là dans le pays. Et ça, c'est un caillou. Et de fait, même haïtien qui là dans le pays, pour jamais comprendre ce qui a passé là. Et puis, on a pris là, attendez un audio que ils ont fait, une vidéo que ils ont fait. Les intendants qui ont parlé, les politiciens qui ont parlé, les journalistes qui ont parlé, et que ce n'est pas pour voir qui m'a dit au fait rêve là. C'est eux-mêmes, en fait, deux villages de Dieu également de Gravine, qui comprennent la nécessité de dire au pays à bon brick, et puis ils ont décidé, donc ils font trêve.
D'après M. Kapgade, qui t'a répété ça tout, mais est-ce que c'est pas le gouvernement qui a annoncé une trêve là avant?
Le gouvernement a annoncé trêve. Le président Jovenel Moïse a fait une sortie le 1er mai dernier, ben matin dans tout. Il dit que le gouvernement identifié moun jodia qui c'est auteur intellectuel phénomène qui tape dans le pays. Et que nous avons analysé ici l'émission matin débat. Et jusqu'à minute de parler à là, nous-mêmes c'est regarder qui a arrestation pas le fait. Parce que lorsqu'un président a parlé, donc il faut qu'il y ait action qui posait, les présidents viennent parler.
My new money goal?
Invest in my daughter's future. Buy a place closer to my family.
Have a better credit card than her.
Compare and find the smartest financial products on NerdWallet so you can make your money goals happen. Turn to the nerds.
Tout avant hier, ben matin, moi-même, je ne pas clair. Madame, monsieur, vous avez des bagages à faire dans la vie. Il ne faut pas jamais regretter, seulement assumer. Parce que le matin, dans tout, pas qu'on fait qui passe cerveau de matin dans un sens ou dans un autre.
Il a joué contrôle.
Si on fait mal qui mal le matin, là, c'est bon. Donc, la tous les jours, négativement.
Oui.
Je dis à ou accompli une œuvre positive, ou font mal qui bien, je dis à là. Là, tous les jours, positivement d'un matin.
Léo pas attendre.
L'on pas attendre la tourner sur vous. Donc, il ne faut pas jamais suspendre garder tout. Donc, à restant ou pour arrêter pratiquement sous terre ça, madame, monsieur. Dis bonjour, bienvenue dans l'émission Matin Débat.
Bonjour, Matin Débat, bonjour, Louko Désir, bonjour, Maître Exidor, bonjour au député Pierre-Martin Tatout, bonjour à Isaïe César, que vous recevez là. Bonjour à tous les auditeurs, toute l'équipe technique là, on fait plaisir pour nous ensemble et Matin. Pour nous commenter ça qui fait si l'agriculture vient à la rescousse de la jeunesse rurale. Mais avant, le cours d'appeler l'éducation peut-être pour que tout le monde n'a pas l'intentionné et captain là parce que hier soir, très tard, exactement de 9h, 10h, et bien, pas avec des menaces, mais nous recevons des appels et des gens qui tuent au village de Dieu. Et il y a parlé de l'éditorial là, et peut-être que nous ne pas d'accord à trêve de devoir. Non, je pense que nous d'accord à trêve de devoir. C'est pas ça, je pense que tout ce qui est là, il y a possibilité de faire des négociations avec des groupes de gangs. Par exemple, il y a quelqu'un, des parents de policiers sur les sociales. Jusqu'à présent, il faut que nous un cadavre. Là, c'est extrêmement important. Et je pense que nous sommes supposés souligner une série de bagages qui ont rapport avec très peu de demoiselles. Je pense que c'est une bonne décision et que l'État doit montrer le responsable par rapport à cette décision parce que très là doit prolonger. Et prolonger pendant très, très, très longtemps. Ce n'est pas 2 mois avec nous seulement. Très blanc, il est là pour tout le temps, qui ont l'État qui est responsable. Et par rapport à très blanc, je pense que les parents viennent pour obligation, évidemment, dans le CNPDR, aidez-vous, parce qu'il a négocié avec des groupes de gangs, aidez-vous, s'il vous plaît, dans joindre cadavre de pour faire, et pas pour pas cadavre, reste cadavre de pour faire enterrement. Voilà. À nous parler pour éditorial là, qui est si l'agriculture vient à la rescousse de la jeunesse rurale.
Moi, ce que maintenant a posé un problème fondamental pour ce pays. Et là, je crois que poser pour l'agriculture là, qui est capable de venir à la rescousse de la jeunesse rurale, nous retournons droit à s'en mêler la décentralisation que sur l'opération d'Haïti.
Et la grande majorité de la population rurale et le Konstitisyon vivent de l'agriculture. Et il se trouve que les ménages ruraux et familles qui habitent dans la zone rurale, il se trouve qu'ils vivent difficilement. Ils vivent et de l'agriculture et de l'élevage. Maintenant, le fait qu'il n'y ait pas un encadrement suffisant pour les jeunes qui sont dans le milieu rural, ça fait qu'ils débarquent Port-au-Prince. Ils débarquent Port-au-Prince pour plus tard. Ils viennent faire chauffeur taxi-moto, ils viennent maçon, ils viennent monter en l'eau.
Comment oublier mentionner M. Dayiti? Théo qui vous vendent pour venir dans la ville, là. C'est Théo vous vendent pour venir dans la ville.
Bien sûr.
Et c'est quoi ça, avec la culture? Oui, bien sûr.
Il y a des gens qui n'étaient pas en moyen, ils vendent Théo, ils vendent Théo, et puis ils ont la motocyclette, pour plus tard, puis ils vendent l'eau, puis ils mettent des motos, et puis ils remplissent le trottoir là, on va marcher là, des zombies, on va marcher, on va marcher tellement là, on va marcher, parce que tout trottoir là, est transformé en lieu d'étalage. Je vais vous dire la pose des questions. Quelle alternative que peut l'État? Pour l'État capable de faire bagaille et quelle alternative nous gagnons jeunesse aussi. Et là, le Konstitisyon n'ont pas resté là dans spéculer, etc., nous à questionner en tête. Par exemple, il y a plusieurs plans de relance de l'agriculture en dedans du ministère de l'Agriculture et de par contre comment mise en œuvre l'en fait, etc. Même qui est plus souligné particulièrement en texte de 2011. Nous avons été publié sous le ministre Jovenel. C'est pas les politiques de développement agricole 2010-2025. Son plan qui est mis sur 15 ans. C'est-à-dire un plan quinquennal. Mais si depuis 2010 jusqu'à aujourd'hui, c'est-à-dire 2021, parce que son plan quinquennal, son plan qui est mis sur 15 ans, si depuis 2010 à 2021 et 2025, le bon plan pratiquement est là, pas bon.
En fait, nous sommes, là, nous avons posé des questions. Oui, nous sommes dans l'application, en fait, de ce plan.
Voilà. C'est-à-dire qu'il faut qu'il y ait au propos jusqu'à présent mettez en œuvre plan quinquennal. Parce que jusqu'à présent, il y a des gens qui ont quitté le milieu rural, qui ont venu Port-au-Prince, venu vendre de l'eau, venu faire taxi moto, et venu appeler le trottoir là, et parce que ça monte à très vulnérable. Très vulnérable. Ils sont capables de recruter à tout moment dans des actes de banditisme, dans des gangs, dans des bases, etc.
Non, mais à souligner, en fait, M. Dayiti, il faut les qui dans gang là, c'est les gangs de.
Bien sûr, ce sont des
c'est des gens qui sont dans des sections communales, dans des départements, donc, dans le pays, et puis qui viennent pour le prince, probablement, donc, sous influence de amis, ou du moins qui viennent là, et dans mauvais la vie qui habite les ghettos, et puis qui viennent comprendre que je dis, ils ont qu'à chef tout. Ok? Donc, ils vivent voilà dehors.
Et à ce moment, ils jouent le tout pour le tout.
Bien sûr, bien sûr. Alors, si nous développons l'agriculture, ok, je dis, à travers le pays, savoir ou bien nous investir donc dans ça nous relève agro-industrie. Agro-industrie pratiquement donc qui commençait dans la section communale là. Et vous pensez que je viens de dire avec la ville gonflée la ville là?
Non, certainement pas, parce que l'agro-industrie ou bien conservation ou bien transformation et jeunes ça a besoin, jeunes ça est capable de tomber la priorité dans la terre, priorité dans la terre. Et justement, le fait qu'il y ait une sorte d'intelligence du côté de l'État, je ne suis pas obligé à abandonner des terres, il est vendre des terres, liquider des terres, et puis on vient au plaine, et puis on tombe dans toutes sortes de bagages qui pas bon, et puis on vient, et on dit ça, intoxiqué au plaine, et soit bien sous trottoir, etc., pour battre des bagages. Mais l'on parle de l'agro-industrie, c'est-à-dire que joindre une agriculture mécanisée, c'est-à-dire qui est capable de produire à grande échelle. Parce que l'agro-industrie, ça facilite nous, parce que j'en ai fait d'aller là, non seulement il y a une production, etc., mais aussi il y a une conservation. Imaginons, nous voyons la saison cyclonique, là, je dis là, imaginons une catastrophe passe. Imaginons une petite catastrophe passe. La pluie dévastante.
Dominique.
Mais le fait que pas de conservation, pas de réserve, et dans l'agriculture là, si tu as fait, nous allons des domaines, nous allons des Japon, donc nous allons pour nous l'éviter. Et pour tout ça, documentaire a été produit par les cadres techniques du ministère de l'Agriculture. Contrairement à ça, vous pensez qu'il y a des cadres techniques très compétents.
Très compétents, bien sûr. Très
compétents. Oui. Et qui, par exemple, pour envier à d'autres cadres dans des pays étrangers. Ils ont produit des documents. Maintenant, pour qu'ils l'État pas gagné et mise en œuvre documentaire. Est-ce que ça veut dire que les ministres, les différents ministres sont vassalisés? C'est ça le problème-là. Parce que quand techniquement, comme tout le monde, on va peut-être qu'on va comprendre. Et on capte le ministère. Il touche moins de 50 000 gouttes.
Oui, c'est vrai.
Et on est très compétent.
Moins de 50 000 gouttes, c'est vrai.
Moins de 50 000 gouttes. Et on est très compétent, il a fait le travail. Mais le travail là, la pourri, la cannie, ça n'a rien qui fait. Et je me suis dit, pour nous arriver à Gwo Zen, on va passer pour le ministère du commerce et de l'industrie impliqué, FPI aussi doit impliquer. Et puis, il y a le ministère de l'Agriculture aussi qui doit impliquer. Mais comme du tout, il y a des filières que FPI et qui est Fonds de développement industriel et appui. Par exemple, la canne à sucre, clairin, alcool,
Over there, it's a task manager. It's a project manager. It's Asana, your work manager. Bring together everything your team needs to get work done in one place. Visit asana.com to try for free.
Les produits de boucherie, tomates et les produits du tabac aussi, le sel. Il y a des pays de bagages qui fait, mais maintenant, on doit questionner le résultat. Parce que le monde doit travailler ensemble, que ce soit FDI, et que ce soit le ministère de l'Agriculture ou bien le ministère du Commerce et de l'Industrie, il faut que travaillent ensemble, je les dis, pour être capable de faire des résultats, parce que là, parce que là, même pas pour questionner l'individu. Là, des gens qui n'ont pas su, des gens qui n'ont pas de ministère, des gens qui n'ont pas et des gens qui c'est pas ça que c'est. Il faut questionner les documents. Les documents là, donc on plan quelle destination la jeune qui a fini en 2025, qui a ouvert pour mettre en œuvre l'ordre jeunesse jeune qui a. Et bien, la planification, songez que nous allons dans la saison cyclonique.
Ouais, c'est vrai.
Et quand il bagage avec ma kidnapping, l'insécurité, etc., nos pays, c'est tout le monde qui n'a pas, qui a touché, qui a fait comme et qui n'a fait pratiquement rien. Et les cadres techniques travaillent, comment nous sommes capables d'accompagner les petits agriculteurs, je veux dire, pour que les petits sont pas obligés de quitter les zones rurales, pour venir pour et puis on crée des zones de Gwo Zen qui est les conurbation, voilà, conurbation. C'est-à-dire qu'on vient ville là, et puis on crée, on n'est pas capable de côté à côté de ville, on crée des séries de petits bidonvilles. Mais bidonville là, généralement, il fait corps avec ville là, parce que bidonville là, il intégré ville là. Dans ville là, mais on même crée des petites villes et à côté des villes. Voilà, c'est ça qui est là, l'on a abandonné et zone rurale, et puis pas exprès pour qu'il y ait des jeunes dans la zone rurale. Mais pour l'autre aspect qui est extrêmement important, et le condition. Et là, il faut nous aborder parce qu'il y a un problème de crédit.
Ah oui, justement, en fait, nous devons parler ça ensemble avec vous. Parce que le problème de crédit est fondamental. Pour ne pas capable de développement agricole sans le crédit. D'ailleurs, malheureux pas faire agriculture.
Certainement, le bureau de crédit agricole, par exemple, PTA, le bureau de crédit agricole, ils sont institutions étatiques qui ont crédit dans le milieu rural. Mais sont institutions fermes qui sont fortement décapitalisées et qui sont là, sont qui dans le texte là. C'est-à-dire plan de quinquennal là. Il est fortement décapitalisé pour plus tard parce que les bails ont faible taux de remboursement. Et je ne dis pas capable de jouer au lit. Et quand tu fais, quand tu pas intervenir du tout dans le milieu rural. On va dire très peu, tu vas intervenir du tout dans le milieu rural. Parce que et ça, c'est dans le texte, c'est mentionné dans le texte. Quand tu pas intervenir dans le milieu rural, pour plus tard, et on pense, ouais, paysan, qui est dans le milieu rural, même si c'est un côté où elle a exploité à faire, il y a des travaux, il y a un titre légal de propriété pour lui. Même quand il côté la ville, il y a un titre légal de propriété pour lui. Donc, parce que pas qu'à aventurer.
C'est comme si le banque pas quoi vraiment dans la question agriculture.
C'est qui ne pas quoi vraiment dans l'agriculture. Parce que je ne dis pas que nous réveillons. Tout ça n'a pas dit, je ne dis pas dans le pays, il faut dire dans le manque ça. Nous ne pouvons pas qu'aimer mon lieu dans un rural là pour le capable de travailler là, évidemment, qui a ouvert. Parce que de toute manière, les gens n'ont pas beaucoup côté pour GTO. Et moi, GTO, j'étais au compteur, j'étais au Port-au-Prince, et on fait toute l'obéi, ils ont embarrassé la rue, ils ont créé des marchés, n'importe quel côté, et puis on s'est fait insécurité. Donc ça a entraîné un mouvement migratoire qui a empoisonné Port-au-Prince.
Eh bien, merci en pile, monsieur Robinson d'Haïti.
Merci infiniment, le désir. À demain, matin débat.
Ok. Je rappelle que le téléphone de monsieur d'Haïti, c'est le 31 55 43 25 si vous souhaitez échanger avec elle, donc sur les différents éditoriaux de l'émission Matin Débat, donc également sur l'éditorial de ce mardi 11 mai 2021. Je rappelle que les éditoriaux de Matin Débat, en fait, sont la pensée même de l'émission. Ok, bon, on a regardé ça qui est sous table là. Il y a causé pour parler.
En tout cas, et Claude Damasio, ça va arriver encore. Pour le quoi changer.
Ah ben, agir, Claude.
Il agit déjà, vous excellence qui agit.
Claude Damasio, merci en pile. Ah ben, vous dites, attendez.
Vous content.
Want a $2,500 website for free? Well, keep watching. If you're a business owner like me and you don't have weeks to spend messing around.
Hi there, I'm Stephanie Rule. It is Tuesday, May 11th. Let's get smarter. This morning, families, including mine, nationwide are getting the good news that they have been waiting for. The FDA has approved Pfizer's COVID vaccine for kids as young as 12 years old. HHS Secretary Javier Becerra will join me live straight ahead. While in Washington, President Biden is telling states to tighten the rules around unemployment benefits, making sure if you get offered a good job, you got to take it. And Republicans claim to be the Big Tent party open to free thought. So why are they going to punish Congresswoman Liz Cheney for speaking truth to the country, and more specifically, Donald Trump? I want to start with the big news from the FDA. NBC's Miguel Almaguer is covering that. Chris Jansen in New York City, and Dr. Michael Mina, Assistant Professor of Epidemiology at Harvard School of Public Health. Miguel, now that this thing is approved, when can kids start getting it? When I saw this headline, I almost skipped the show and took my kids to a CVS.
Yes, there are a lot of families across the country are certainly very excited about this. Now, they're not able to get the shot yet, but likely very soon. As you mentioned, the FDA did clear that major hurdle for children 12 to 15 years old to get vaccinated. Now the CDC Advisory Committee needs to review the data, also meet separately, and they too are expected to give this approval. Now, that group is meeting tomorrow on Wednesday, so we expect as early as Thursday, kids will be able to start getting vaccinated. Now, there's 12 to 15-year-olds will likely be able to go to one of three places: their local pediatrician's office, perhaps even some of those mass clinics, though there may be some hurdles there. Also, they may be able to go to even their own local high school. It's the same dose and the same two-shot regimen as adults have been getting, so they may start getting their vaccinations as early as Thursday. Stephanie?
Doctor, let's talk about that dose. Kids, in many cases, half the size of adults. There's not a concern that it's too much on their bodies, because especially that second vaccine, it can knock you out. Dr. Lena?
Yep. It is a very strong vaccine, but in general, the vaccine has been shown to be very, very safe for all age groups that it's been trialed in this point. And so I don't think we have a huge concern that it's really going to be harmful at all. But certainly I think people should be ready for their children to potentially be feeling the side effects of it, meaning some minor, almost flu-like side effects for a day after each of the doses.
You know, we often hear, oh, kids don't get really sick, but that's not the case. Explain why this is such a big deal, because a lot of the new cases out there right now are young children.
Yeah, so children can still spread this virus. So for the good of the entire community, meaning all age classes, it's very important for us to continue working to get as many people across the country vaccinated as possible. And that includes, in this case, children who are going to be some of the major drivers of new infections, especially now that the older age classes have been vaccinated. So continuing the march downwards in age to get more and more children vaccinated is going to be a crucial step for the end game in the United States with this pandemic.
And the march outward to those who either are hesitant about getting it or haven't had access. Chris, tell us what is happening in New York City to get to some of those people who haven't had shots yet.
Hey, Steph, welcome to Times Square. It's one of the places that New York City is offering vaccines, the single shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine to tourists, hoping a shot in the arm literally will help the proverbial shot in the arm to the economy. You know, Stephanie, that is huge here. In 2019, $70 billion and 400,000 jobs were created by tourism. Take a look at the numbers. Record year for tourists, the number one in the country in 2019. By 2020, that had dropped to a third. They're hoping to get that to a little more than half this year. And they hope that having these pop-up sites in places like just down the street from where I am in Times Square, Central Park, Brooklyn Bridge Park, the High Line, heavily touristed areas, offering those free shots will help bring tourists back. I talked to folks from NYC & Co., which is the tourist arm of New York City. Here's what they told me.
People have not had an opportunity to travel in more than 13 months. So there's an extraordinary amount of pent-up demand. And New York City is one of the most appealing places for people to want to go. So if you can check off the box a vaccine, if you have not gotten one, make a plan to do it. And by the way, we're going to give you access to some of our tourist attractions at the same time as a further incentive.
And there's more. You know how some places are saying if you get a shot, well, we'll give you a beer or some donuts. Here in New York City, they're saying if you're a tourist and you come here and you get vaccinated, we'll give you free tickets to places like the Bronx Zoo, the Brooklyn Botanic Garden. There are going to be free tickets to performances at Lincoln Center. Lots of incentives. And they know that if they give those free tickets out, Stephanie, and you understand this, people will spend money on food. They might spend money in the gift shop. You can see right here, there's a huge sign over a local business, support small business, with arrows down to the Grand Slam fan shop. So there are lots of different ways that they're trying to get people in here. I should mention it's for U.S. tourists only. There have been headlines literally all around the world. They're getting a lot of free publicity about this. But right now, you do have to be a U.S. citizen, 16 or older, to get that shot. Steph?
Those Times Square gift shops, they need the business. Doctor, I want to ask you about hesitancy as it relates to kids. Are we expecting that if you got vaccinated, you'll get your kids vaccinated, or is there an additional level of hesitancy there?
I think we're likely to see an additional level of hesitancy. I think it can be mitigated with good messaging, with good advertising almost for these vaccines to let people know about how safe they are for children. But certainly we oftentimes see with vaccines that parents are going to be potentially more hesitant just because they have a greater level of concern for their children than themselves. And so I think what we should expect to see is for the CDC and other public health agencies to continue trying to get good appropriate public health messaging so that everyone can make an informed decision. And I want to emphasize that the vaccines appear to be very, very safe and effective for these age classes and for the kids. So I would encourage people to surely get their kids vaccinated.
Well, that messaging matters. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your expertise, Dr. Mena, Chris, Miguel, and of course with vaccine hesitancy, still a major issue across the country. Monty O'Donnell will be sitting down with President Biden, Dr. Anthony Fauci, Surgeon General Murthy, and other top health officials to talk about the fight to get every American vaccinated. That's going to take place tomorrow night right here on MSNBC at 10 p.m.
You don't own me. I'm not just one of your many toys. You don't own
p.m. Eastern. It will also be streamed online. Now let's turn to a developing story in Washington. We are just 24 hours away from Congresswoman Liz Cheney facing a vote that will likely oust her from GOP House leadership after she denounced former President Trump's lies about the 2020 election. And this morning, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is sending a very clear message to his fellow Republicans. She needs to go. In a letter to his GOP colleagues, he said they needed to make a change, while at the same time saying the GOP is a big tent party open to free thought and debate. Well, those two things don't square. That letter comes after the minority leader said he supports Congresswoman Elise Stefanik in her bid to replace Cheney as the GOP's third highest ranking member. Let's get the latest now from Garrett Hake on Capitol Hill and Ashley Parker, White House bureau chief for the Washington Post, and former Congressman Denver Ringelman, Republican of Virginia. Garrett, what is the reaction on the Hill to his letter? I mean, we knew he felt this, right? Now he just made it official?
I think that's right. The letter essentially formalizes a process that we've been going through for more than a week now and formalizes the position of Kevin McCarthy that Liz Cheney has to go, something that first came clear on that hot mic moment on Fox News. Then he was pushed a little bit further in an interview. Now, finally, we have this letter and we get the whole thought process here. I think the framing that you have to think of this in is that when you are the minority leader, as is Kevin McCarthy, your primary goal, your primary mission, in this case his political mission, is to become Speaker of the House. It's to win back the majority. And what you're seeing here is a political calculation that it is more valuable for House Republicans to have Donald Trump fully in their tent than it is to have Liz Cheney fully in their tent. And we will see over time whether that turns out to be the case. There is a lot of sturm and drang about this week, but McCarthy and his leadership team hope that this is the kind of thing that will ultimately fade away if and when Cheney loses most of her megaphone as a member of House leadership.
Okay, Congressman, then I have a two-parter. Why is it that the Republicans believe Donald Trump is their ticket to win? Last I checked, he lost the White House, he lost the Senate, he lost Congress. And the fact that we're now hearing Kevin McCarthy say the GOP is open to free thought and debate, that's the opposite of what's happening here.
It is, and I tell you, I wish I was in that conference meeting. And it takes a lot of guts. Liz has to get up and actually speak to individuals who voted for her last time to keep her position, and this time they're going to vote against her. And it's going to be very interesting what she says. But Liz never really loses her cool, so I think she's actually looking forward to the challenge of this. But when you talk about President Trump losing the election, the issue is polling. And even here, I know that we had our gubernatorial selection yesterday. Yes, it was a convention with only 0.4% of the people participating. However, the number one polling issue was election integrity. And I'm the chief strategist for the Network Contagion Research Institute. And I have to agree, this is a political calculation because what we're seeing is that the QAnon has sort of reverted to New World Order. And what you're seeing with conspiracy theories and what you're seeing with Stop the Steal, what you're seeing with election integrity, it is polling 25 to 30 points above the next issue. So this is a political calculation. And sadly, this is also an offering from McCarthy and the GOP conference to Mar-a-Lago. And a lot of that has to do with the polling in some of these districts they think they can win. It has nothing to do with a moral certitude. It has nothing to do with integrity. It is purely a political calculation based on polling and fundraising. And Liz Cheney is the offering to Mar-a-Lago and President Trump that Kevin McCarthy needs to keep his position and move forward.
What Liz Cheney is consistent. Actually, I'm going to share what Republican Senator Lindsey Graham said last night because it is the opposite of consistent.
The most popular Republican in America, it's not Lindsey Graham, it's not Liz Cheney, it's Donald Trump. People on our side of the aisle believe.
See how just one box can turn your home into your very own lab.
Believe that Trump policies worked. They're disappointed that he lost. And to try to erase Donald Trump from the Republican Party is insane. And the people who try to erase him are going to wind up getting erased.
He's saying that he learned that the hard way because immediately after the January 6th insurrection, Lindsey Graham said he had never been so humiliated and embarrassed for the country. He very clearly expressed frustration over how Trump handled the riot. And soon after saying that, he got heckled by hardcore Trumpers at an airport, and then he came running back.
Well, it's not just Senator Graham, it's Leader McCarthy originally said Donald Trump bore a lot of the blame for the January 6th attacks. It's Leader McConnell who was quite harsh and critical of Donald Trump's role in those attacks. He, of course, has been a little more consistent, but it's worth noting that even McConnell, when asked on Fox News if he would support Donald Trump if he was the Republican nominee in 2024, said, I believe the direct vote is absolutely. There's very few people. I can point to someone like Mitt Romney, for instance, who came out, condemned what happened on January 6th, condemned the former president's role in it, dealt with that harsh heckling in an airport, same with Mitt Romney, the booing at a state convention, and stuck to his principles. Just about everyone else, again, as you mentioned earlier, has raced down to Mar-a-Lago, kissed the rig to try to placate former President Trump, and that's why you're seeing, in part, this shakeup in Republican leadership this week.
Well, Mitt Romney hasn't. Mitt Romney is the one who actually tweeted that expelling Cheney will cost the GOP votes. Congressman, agree or disagree?
Disagree in the short term. I think in the long term, Mitt Romney is correct. But when you're looking at 2022 and the midterms, the polling again and the fundraising all points to the fact that GOP can take back the House if they use issues that are fiction, like Stop the Steal, like election integrity, which is, I think everybody knows, is a cover term for Stop the Steal. And we're looking at the legislation across the country is working for them. So again, I wish I could say that following Trump and this sort of loyalty quotient that you have that everybody has to follow will be, the death knell of the GOP. But it's not about policy and issues right now. It is certainly about loyalty to President Trump. That is really all we have right now. And listening to the panel today, I'm just struck about what happened to me, what's happened to other people. But here's the one issue, the one reason Liz Cheney is being removed from the conference leadership is because she is not loyal to President Trump. That is the one issue. That's it. And the fact is, when you have truth and facts on your side, I just never thought we'd be facts-based radicals in the Republican Party.
We're not just hearing it from Mar-a-Lago, though, Ashley. Wyoming voters have said they are furious with Congresswoman Cheney. Could this not just cost her leadership position? Could she and other Republicans taking her honest position lose their seats?
I mean, we'll have to see, but again, all roads in many ways go through Mar-a-Lago. What a lot of those voters in Wyoming are responding to, in part, is being ginned up by former President Trump. And Donald Trump, he's never been one who is particularly organized. His operation is not very well streamlined, but he is doing what his advisors have described to me as revenge endorsements, which is trying to take out the 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach him and the senators who voted to convict him and anyone else who he believes was insufficiently loyal when it came to the quote-unquote big lie about the election. So he and his aides are calling around in Wyoming, not just trying to find a challenger for her, but trying to clear the field so that challenger doesn't get bogged down and have Liz Cheney prevail. If that will happen, if it will be successful, again, he has very rarely shown that sort of streamlined political operation that you might need.
Take it wherever.
Need to do that. We'll have to see, but this is sort of the most concerted and deliberate former President Trump has been about stuff like this in a while.
Well, we know he's someone who stays true to revenge. Congressman Ashley Garrett, thank you so much. We're going to leave it there. Coming up this morning, at least the Biden administration keeps saying that unemployment benefits are not stopping people from going back to work. But yesterday, while still denying it's an issue, the president had some strong words for those who, as he put it, are trying to play the system.
We're going to make it clear that anyone collecting unemployment who is offered a suitable job must take the job or lose their unemployment benefits.
This comes as some Republican-led states are ending the extra $300 in federal benefits that people are getting per week because of the expanded unemployment. Joining us now to discuss, John Hope Bryant. He's the CEO of the financial literacy organization Operation Hope, and Washington Post economics reporter Heather Long. Heather, we keep hearing people say, it was a job shortage to a labor shortage. But is it a labor shortage or a labor shift? We saw millions of people over the last year who maybe lost their jobs in things like the service and hospitality industry shift. People move to things like warehouse jobs, which offer
more regular schedules, more pay, and health care.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Steph. I talk to unemployed people nearly every day, and if you ask me, can you find some people who are staying at home because they are earning on average about $600 on unemployment, and that's more than they would make if they went back to a restaurant or a retail job? Yes, I have talked to some of those people, but what I hear overwhelmingly from people, 9 out of 10, is that the reason they aren't going back to work or they can't go back to work is one of 3 things. Number one, still some fears about the pandemic. Not everyone is fully vaccinated yet. Number 2 is childcare. We don't talk about this enough. If you look at that April jobs report, all the jobs went to men. So women are really still struggling until students and children are fully back in daycare and school. And the last issue that I hear that you were just speaking about is what I call this great reassessment. People have had a really horrible, terrible year. Many were laid off. Many were told to go to work on these frontline jobs where they had to enforce the mask mandates and get yelled at. And they're saying they want to do something different with their life. They want something, to shift their career if possible. And so I'm talking to a lot of people who used to work in retail and restaurants. Now they want to be in a warehouse where they're paid more, or do something totally different, like become a wind turbine technician or something in the digital economy.
John, you're a free markets guy. Is this on the government or employers? Are people getting paid too much money not to work, or are they not getting paid enough money to work?
Yeah, so we're almost arguing about the wrong thing. I couldn't agree more with what she just said. We also have a hope shortage. I'm a small business owner. I pay my people at least $16 an hour to work. And I think that people are there's a hope shortage. I think there's also this great migration to a greater dream. When was the last time people had a break? And really that the government gave them a break, really to reset their lives. You really talk about the New Deal, and for some, the GI Bill. We're going 100 plus years ago. And I think that people are saying, I'm getting through the pandemic. Most people going to work, as she just mentioned, are men. I think there's a couple million people went back to work were men the last couple of months.
YouTube is the #1 site for millions of creators online. But as more people flood to the platform, it's getting harder for your content to stand out from the crowd. That's where Sprizzy can help. Meet Tim, the lead singer of his band. Tim dreams of touring the globe and playing for fans all around the world. On top of putting out great content, he uses Sprizzy to reach new music lovers every day. Tim started by providing the names of a few bands whose audiences might also dig his own stuff, and Sprizzy set to work, promoting his content to those potential new listeners. Unlike other promotional tools, Sprizzy gives you control over your target audience. We believe in reaching real users, building your following, and encouraging organic growth. With more eyes on your content, you might just go viral. Take Emma, a fashion influencer. Like Tim, she used Sprizzy to highlight her videos to followers of larger fashion channels. And now she's on her way to her next subscriber milestone. Ready to grow your channel? Visit Sprizzy.com and start your campaign now.
Carnival is bringing you 3 and 4-day mini cruises. But are mini cruises big fun? Does a bucket square provide an elegant accent for an old suit?
3 men and women have said either I'm not vaccinated or my children don't have daycare or I'm just not comfortable yet. But a lot of people are saying, what's my dream for myself? Is my dream a dead-end job at, $12 an hour, 40 hours a week, and I'm still below the poverty rate in America? So they're not inspired by the job. They're not inspired by the pay. When I took my bicycle to Maui, they charged me nothing. So I took it all the time. When they charged me $100, I took it some of the time each way. When they started charging me $200 each way, the bike stayed home. Okay? People respond to incentives and penalties. And they're penalized by a lack of hope. And they're not incentivized with either a better pay or new training. And here's the good news. This infrastructure proposal that I'm hearing, which I hopefully will become bipartisan, includes infrastructure for roads and people. We need to upgrade the human capital of our people, which is our greatest asset, so that we can get 2 to 3% of GDP from the bottom 50% of society who are really off the grid and already being tuned up and prepared for the greatest game on the planet, which is capitalism and free enterprise at scale. We gotta get more people. This is a chance to reset and upgrade our software for everybody. But the concept that people are sitting at home lazy is disingenuous and is also disrespectful of the average person with too much money at the end of their money.
John, what do you say to the small business owner who says, I own a small retail business. Even before the pandemic, I was dealing with the Amazon effect. My input costs are so much higher than big box retailers, and I can't afford to pay my people more. Do those small businesses go out of business, or is there a path?
You know, I thought sort of the same things in one of my businesses, and I paid more. I got better quality workers, so I was paying less people to do better quality work. But also, the earning of tax credit is available to every employer. 1 out of 4 Americans who qualify for it never even ask for it. That's a bonus for working. So that wouldn't cost the employer in this conversation a dime. And if you're making less than $60,000 a year, your workers qualify. If they make $25,000 a year, the person gets about $19,000. That's real money, cash, because it's 3 years of retroactive. The employer could facilitate that without it costing them a dime. Workers get a bonus, and my guess is come to work early and stay later because they're more working. They think their employer is sort of backing them. We need to reimagine work, reimagine small business, reimagine. Let me put it this way: my rich friends need my poor friends to do better and only to stay rich. And even small business owners will find they do better if they do a modest reinvestment in their greatest asset, which is not the goods on the counter; it's the people walking down the aisles with their workers.
Heather, we just laid out why there is this, I'm not going to say labor shortage, but hiring delay. When you mentioned childcare, there's already $39 billion designated to shore up childcare from the American Rescue Plan. It just hasn't all been spent yet. But this argument that unemployment is making people stay at home, it doesn't square with the facts, because there is no evidence that states that give out more money have a bigger labor problem than states that don't.
Yeah, that's true. And I think it's also interesting. We hear this claim of labor shortage the most from the restaurant industry right now. And actually, if you look at that April jobs report, pretty much the only sector that was doing a lot of hiring was restaurants and hospitality, adding about 330,000 jobs. So there's definitely feels like there's a mismatch between what people are saying and what's actually happening on the ground. I will say we are starting to see some evidence of what John was just speaking about, of companies starting to lift. Lift pay. We saw Chipotle make an announcement already this week that they were going to bump up pay a couple of dollars, and we certainly see evidence around the country of smaller businesses offering free subs to workers, trying to boost pay a little bit, trying to give out free cases of beer as a hiring bonus, and breweries. So I think that'll be an interesting to play out, and certainly the president said yesterday that while you do have to accept a job if you're offered, he also encouraged companies that workers will come back if the pay is higher.
Stephanie, I think
finally workers have a bit of leverage.
I think, Stephanie, we're pivoting here to an unintended increase in the living wage possibly in this country. I mean, it just is, coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. So says Andrew Young. This might be, we've been arguing about this for 20 or 30 years, right? It just might be the universe delivered a message that the workers really do matter in whether it's free enterprise. It's not just the folks on Wall Street get to make a choice. My friends on our friends on Wall Street, it's those on Main Street that are making a choice, and they're saying, "Pay me more. You want me to show up and be enthusiastic? Pay me a living wage so I can put food on the table, roof over the head, and not be stressed out at work. And I'll give you more. I'll give you better." I do believe, in acknowledgement to businesses, we do need to do more in this package that's coming next to support small businesses and restaurants so there's not an undue burden on them because they're the backbone of our economy. But so is the average mother with too much money at the end of their month.
And we should remind our audience, restaurants are getting $28 billion in that last American Rescue Plan that opened up last week. And again, anybody who has a teenager at home who's telling you they can't find a job this summer, tell them to call me. Those jobs are out there. Heather, John, thank you so much. We've got to take a turn because coming up now that kids 12 and up can get vaccinated. We are keeping a close eye on Capitol Hill, where Dr. Anthony Fauci and CDC Director Rochelle Walensky will be testifying before a Senate committee just a few minutes from now. I want to bring in Javier Becerra, Secretary of Health and Human Services. Secretary, I want to start with this big, great news. The FDA approving the Pfizer vaccine for kids ages 12 to 15. This thing could be available as early as Thursday. That gives us 3 months to vaccinate every middle school kid in this country. Given that, do you think the government should start mandating the vaccine in schools next year?
Well, we certainly hope that local communities will move quickly to make the plans to get their kids vaccinated now that this is moving forward. We want to hear from CDC to make sure that it's a go. But clearly, Stephanie, I think the fall looks much more promising for a lot of families.
If vaccines aren't mandated in schools, should schools be open 100%?
Well, again, those are decisions made at the local level. We've been providing guidance that says that everyone should get vaccinated, and we're doing everything we can to make that happen. And now that we can see the path for 12 to 15-year-olds to join 16 and over, that's a great message to the rest of America. So right now is the time to get vaccinated. Facilities are out there. The sites are available. The vaccines are there. We should be getting everyone to sign up. The less we vaccinate, the more we have to continue wearing masks. The more we vaccinate, the less we have to worry about masks.
I want to ask you about some breaking news. New data showing that over 1 million Americans signed up for coverage for the ACA, and that was during the expanded that special enrollment window from February 15th to May 15th. That's huge news. That window wasn't supposed to exist. That's an additional 1 million people on top of the 12 million that signed up for Obamacare during regular enrollment period that ended in December. We know that former President Trump was trying to get rid of Obamacare completely. Was all of that noise, or was there real damage done?
Well, first, Stephanie, you're absolutely right. This is a double dose of good news. First, you hear that 12 to 15-year-olds now are on the verge of getting vaccinated, and at the same time, we're finding that a million Americans have now received affordable care as a result of Obamacare. And so great news all around. We just have to make sure people continue getting out there, getting vaccinated, getting their health plans. By the way, on top of the 1 million who just got insured, there are 2 million Americans who got their care through Obamacare, who went back to the healthcare.gov site and found out that they were able to reduce their premiums and out-of-pocket costs as a result of the American the rescue plan that the president put out there. So good news overall. We want to keep it going.
The American Families Plan makes some of these improvements permanent. It's massively important, but it's also a massive investment. And just because something is big doesn't mean it's a good investment. How do you know that the solutions you're putting forward are going to work? I certainly care about elder and disability care, but when I see the number of $400 billion, I want to know, well, what is in there, and how do you know these programs are good ones?
Well, Stephanie, when you compare what the American Families Plan will cost the country, it's a pittance compared to what it cost us to try to fight COVID. We spent several $1 trillion trying to fight COVID. If more and more Americans were covered and if were prepared, we could probably be in far better shape and wouldn't have to spend the trillions. And so right now, the president has proposed a plan, the American Family Plan, which would make permanent, as you just mentioned, a lot of those savings in Obamacare, and that would help tons of families. The estimate is some 4 million more families who don't have coverage right now would be able to afford health insurance if we made the American Family Plan law.
Well, let's talk about oversight, because if you add up all the money that has been spent in the last year and this infrastructure bill, we're talking about $10 trillion. I know you want American Families Plan, American Jobs Plan to go through. What is the plan for oversight? Because let me tell you, the first $2 trillion we spent under the CARES Act, the oversight committee that was supposed to be overseeing it still doesn't even have a chairperson, and it's been a year.
Yeah, so what happened in the past, we're not interested in seeing happen now moving forward under this administration. And I will tell you that at Health and Human Services, at my department, we're going to make sure accountability has a capital A on it, because we want to make sure that we can prove to folks that not only did they benefit by getting better coverage at a lower cost, but that the taxpayer investments made so that those families could get covered were well spent, and we're going to make sure that we can show accountability at the end of the day. And so we're going to put plans out there that work. We're going to go out there and make sure that we follow through on the dollars. We're going to work with our local and state partners to make sure that we are monitoring where the money is spent. But look, the production is the ultimate decider on these things. And when you can say that already 1 million families have signed up, that's real stuff, real care for a lot of Americans. It's not just wasting money. It's actually investing in making America healthier.
I know you just said you don't want to go backwards, but is it not this administration's responsibility to have oversight over money that's been spent, whether or not it was this administration or the last? It was Congress that signed off on the CARES Act, trillions of dollars.
Right, and we're going to do everything we can now under our watch to make sure we are watching the money. And I guarantee you we will do it differently from the way it's been done in the past. But please don't pin whatever happened in the past on the Biden administration. It's a new day. We're doing it differently. We plan to make investments work.
Long-term investments that make us stronger, smarter, and better. Mr. Secretary, thank you for joining me this morning. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Get ready to break free from the fee. No more sky-high monthly bills or cleaning subscriptions. Tubi has it all. It's free. Tubi. Download the app and start watching for free.
We're going right into this update on the Giuliani probe. The Fed's scouring his phones. They, of course, raided his apartment. And he's still taking on new legal risk today. He was back out on his radio show quoting none other than Richard Nixon.
I'm not a crook, and they're framing me because very simple reason. I got the goods on Joe Biden. I'm the guy, unfortunately, who individually exposed Joe Biden. First with regard to his crookedness in Ukraine, and then with regard to the hard drive that shows that he's been a criminal for 30 years and that his son's been feeding him the money for 30 years.
Rudy Giuliani knows his way around Republican politics and history. He's got to know what happened to Richard Nixon in the years after he claimed he was not a crook. Giuliani is under legal pressure. He's got an evidence-free attack here that he's accusing the feds of committing a new crime of framing him, which he hasn't substantiated that in any way. And it seems like the pressure may be getting to him as he continues to talk on the radio and other airwaves. And I'm joined now, as promised, Neil Kochow, former acting U.S. Solicitor General. Neil, I always try to keep it real with viewers. I try to explain, if we're several days into a story, why are we here again? And sometimes there's big new developments, and sometimes there's just the way people act. And Mr. Giuliani can't stop talking. What I just played is brand new. And so he's feeding the story, and he seems to be feeding a narrative legally where he wants to say that his outside activities against the Bidens, and he has every right to oppose Joe Biden's election, but his outside activities somehow made him a target that otherwise he wouldn't be in this trouble. Your response both to the Nixon claim, which is just wow, and that type of defense he's offering.
Yeah, so here's why it's important, Ari, for our viewers. First, it says a lot about Rudy and Rudy's trajectory. I mean, this is a guy who's gone from being the top prosecutor in New York to being treated as a common criminal and investigated by the very office he used to run. And his defense is, I'm not a crook, quoting Nixon. That's not particularly good. The FBI has seized 10 of his devices pursuant to a warrant, pursuant to a federal judge's order, and the judge had to certify that probable cause existed to believe a crime had been committed. So that's number one. And look, based on the fact that Giuliani blurted out on national TV that Trump was paying off Stormy Daniels, I'm pretty sure prosecutors would be happy with any one of the 10 devices, let alone all 10. So that's number one. What does it say about Rudy? But the second and more, I think, interesting question is, what does it say about the Trump investigation? Because, there's a lot lot of people out there who are wondering, like, Trump looks like he might get away with the Stormy Daniels stuff, with other financial improprieties, with January 6th, with what happened in Georgia in terms of election pressure, and Ukraine as well. And here now you've got the government investigators with a close confidant of the president, who in potentially very serious crimes that Rudy Giuliani has committed. And Rudy isn't exactly the most loyal person. So I think if you're Donald Trump, you're worried right now about what Giuliani knows and what he's going to say in exchange for a deal.
Yeah, I think that all makes sense. And whether Giuliani is using the airwaves and he has his regular radio show, of course, he can discuss what he wants on it, whether he's using that and other interviews to signal something to Donald Trump and they remain fighting over allegedly legal fees and other things is also a possibility. We've certainly seen other people in the Trump orbit do that. It apparently works better than calling him directly, so we've been told. With that in mind, though, Giuliani wasn't making, I would say, great linear sense in this next passage I'm going to play. Again, this is airing on MSNBC for the first time. It's brand new from the radio show. As Giuliani discusses how the feds want to get him, and a lot of different things come up. See if you can follow this, Neil.
Are we a stupid people? Can you feel why would the Chinese Communist government invest over $1 billion in an investment fund with Whitey Bulger's nephew, Hunter Biden, and John Kerry's stepson? Does it really take that much to figure it out? And can you now figure out why they're trying to put me in jail? Because I'm willing to say that.
Neil?
Well, I don't have a degree in Rudyese or whatever that language is. I can't make too much heads or tails of it, but I can tell you one thing about that, Ari. If I'm Donald Trump, the last thing I want Giuliani to mention is the name Whitey Bulger. Whitey Bulger was an FBI informant who turned on the mob. That mention can't be good comfort for Trump right now. And Giuliani mentioned it, I think, because he's saying Hunter Biden worked at a firm with Bulger's nephew or something like that. And if I'm Rudy Giuliani, the last game I want to be playing right now is guilt by association, since Rudy's encountered more criminals in the last 4 years than I think he has in his entire prosecutorial career. But I think all of this, sorry, is getting bundled into this whole question. Giuliani, and I think this is why he's doing these interviews on TV and radio, is he's trying to get Donald Trump to pay his legal bills. And, count me a skeptic. With all due deference to America's mayor here, Donald Trump doesn't pay his own legal bills. You think he's really going to pay someone else's?
Right.
As they say, crime doesn't pay, and apparently neither do criminals. And given the quality of Rudy's work product, from 4 Seasons landscaping to what he did with Stormy Daniels to his election filings over the fall in court, I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump actually releases a statement demanding payment from Giuliani.
Well, this is a fair point, and this isn't even Supreme Court caught y'all. This is just common sense caught y'all, which is if you watch someone, dine and dash and skip out on their own dinner bill a bunch of times, that's not the person that's going to go take you out for dinner and actually pay the bill. I think that's fair. We'll call that common sense, y'all. Before I lose you, there's one other wrinkle here that I wanted to raise about the case. We've got this information that since October 19, the feds have been looking at whatever Giuliani was trying to do on behalf of these potentially foreign nationals or foreign governments. And the Daily Beast reports that this ex-Ukrainian official needed a visa. The former White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci says from visas or beyond, he sees Giuliani flipping.
You think Rudy Giuliani will turn on Trump?
100%. Yeah, my friend Michael Cohen said that he would take a bullet for the president.
Right.
But when push came to shove and it was about his family, he's got a priority to that. I think the mayor has said it. Look, I've got insurance.
It is true the mayor made that reference to insurance and then sort of walked it back. Everything in that landscape sometimes is a joke. But Neil, I'm curious what you think specifically of the reporting on the visa, because there are those, again, we've talked about a lot, that's bad for Giuliani. There are those who say that if the case turns on or is primarily about a citizen's need for a visa, that may somehow provide a legal help or defense for him if he's not working directly on behalf of, for example, the government of Ukraine writ large.
Yeah, so far I haven't seen the defense, I think, story, and I don't think what Rudy has said is much of a defense. There's nothing wrong if you're a U.S. citizen with working for a foreign government. You just have to disclose it, and that's an important thing. That's part of a very important law that's enacted to prevent people, basically foreign influence in our government. And the idea that this guy who wanted the visa, Shokin, who was the prosecutor, is acting independently of the government and so on. I guess that might be possible, but at least according to the reporting, it sounded like there was more governmental Ukrainian government interest in this official visiting the United States. It wasn't just, the guy coming to bring his kids to Disney or something like that. And so, I think that there is a real concern here. It looks like Giuliani was so eager to please this guy, Shokin, because, well, frankly, he was widely viewed as an effective advocate for a corrupt regime. And so that's why the ambassador our U.S. ambassador, Yovanovitch, tried to prevent that visa. And unfortunately, she was fired. All part of a really nefarious thing, which the feds will investigate and get to the bottom of now.
Well, and as you explained, a visa could sound small if it's a work visa, marriage visa over here, or it could be something very big if, as you say, there's a whole country behind it that's got other foreign policy interests with the U.S. So visa as a term might be misleading here. Of course, if there are charges, that's the kind of thing I would expect to be litigated out. Neil Kotchal, always great to have you here at the top of our broadcast. And I'll remind everyone, you can go to msnbc.com/opening arguments for this and other segments with our solicitor friend. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.
It looks like I got some money from my flag. It looks like I got a big super shot from my friend, my flag. Oh yes, Akem. I don't care what Akem say. Let me go for the super shot. I don't care what you say, Akem. Bonsoir. They can. Let me remove the cam. Let me remove the cam. The cam go for launch. Akem Rosales. Thank you so much, my vlog, for a super big, super shout out. Melly Rosales, thank you for the big super shout out. Bang. Let's see. Let me go back to Akem Rosales. Salahat, everybody. Salahat, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much from Akem. My friend, thank you for the super shout out. Akem Rosales. One more. Thank you so much for the super shout out. Akem Rosales. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody. You know, it's all about politics. What now? Politics everywhere. It's all about politics everywhere, guys. Everywhere in the world, and every single country in the world have a problem, and it's all about politics. And I think the former president of the United States, Mr. Donald R. Trump, he looked like he's in trouble. Not really, because he was the former president of the United States, the biggest country in the world, and I don't think he really in trouble. But his reputation, it could be a lie, and it's all over the world, guy. And what happened in Israel? What happened in Philippines? Everywhere in the no, I'm sorry, not Philippines. Right? Yeah, no. Philippines is good. It's everywhere in the world, guy. It's everywhere in the world. My country is messed up, big time. Messed up, big time, guy. But it's okay. That's politics. Politics always be like politics. I miss you too. Need rapo. It can't stop playing, man. Thank you so much, Ken. Thank you so much, Angie Manson. Thank you so much. Melrose Artist, thank you so much for my vlog. Thank you, my vlog, also for the super chat. And thank you so much, Ken. Thank you so much, Chamber. And thank you so much, Irish John Boncheck. Thank you so much, Happy Look. Thank you so much, Angie Manson. Thank you so much, Happy Look. I got somebody else earlier. That was, what is that again? You know, the I'm sorry, foot cream. Robert Beck was there also, and Dan Lix was there also. There was somebody new also. Give me a answer. No, I got it. ATT TV was there also, and now my wrong. I know my wrong was there also. Thank you so much, everybody, guys. Thank you. And thank you so much, everybody, for sharing me out, guy. And I don't see before that kid for a couple of days. And maybe she's gonna break, right? She's gonna break, try to stay away from YouTube sometimes. Yeah, she got to. You gotta stay away from YouTube sometimes. Thank you so much, my vlog, again. For the super. Shh. Also, again, thank you so much, again, for double super shout out. Yes, guy is don't pay no mind. Politics is I think politics is dirty. Yes, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kim. Oh, you cooking? What you cooking again? Akim, I think Akim is a good cook. Akim always cooking. Akim is a good cook. Akim, I remember last time Akim was cooking and lot I think lot of egg, and then after that he been a whole week. We never see Akim. He was eat too much. The egg was so big, So I don't see Akim for about 4 days after he done eat all of them. So be careful, Akim. I will see you, my friend Grapple. I do want to see you, my friend Akim Grapple. Don't eat too much, man. Be careful, bro. Be careful, okay? Be careful, my friend. Be careful. Yeah, AKM, I remember that. I don't. I think my vlog remember that, man. The last time you was doing, I think it was in the premiere, AKM, and then we missed you about 2 weeks. We don't see you, and everybody was talking about you. They said the eggs too big, and you eat too many. Oh, there was other people was making a lot of fun of you, Madam Lo, like that also. And yeah, there was a lot of fun. Man. Be careful, man. Don't eat too much egg, man. Please don't. I don't want to miss you for 2 weeks, my friend. Bravo. I see you cooking an apple. Beautiful cooking an apple was here. Is here on observe, not one. She just showed up. Thank you for coming so much. Thank you so much, cooking an apple, for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for coming, cooking an apple. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Akim. My advice to you, my friend, please don't eat too much. What you cooking, Akim? What you cooking, by the way? What you cooking? What you cooking, Akim? Yes, she is hot.
Élection pour nommer président et pour nommer juge. Même les litios qui étaient qu'on lit écrit, ils ont attaqué la Constitution, ça, même jour que le paraît. Ça, la cause, Constitution 1843, ça, était là. Personne n'a dit, je m'occupe, et bagaille, ils continuent de faire même jour. Rivière qui était dans le sud, courir entre Port-au-Prince et le point pouvoir le 31 décembre 1843. Après 2 semaines, le pays a été déjà bouleversé et tout le monde tape dans un coup d'État. Quand nouvelle arrivait que dans la nuit, 27 février 1844, Dominicains prend la rue et y a crié Vive la Vierge Marie et la République dominicaine et ont déclaré la Dominicanie indépendante d'Haïti. La même Rivière monte l'armée de 25 000 hommes et l'envahit la Dominicanie. Le 20 mars, Rivière était déjà occupé à Zoua. Général Jean-Louis Pierrot, qui patrivait pour Santiago, terrain era responsable de ça. Au lieu que le Tanazoa joigne Riviera, Pierrot était préféré rentrer dans le nord, côté il déclarait qu'il séparait le nord et la Tibonise du reste pays. Riviera qui découvrit envahir la Dominicanie sans que le pas de bon genre en préparation, passons moi à attendre que vous mangez, armes, à munitions valides. Entre-temps, conspiration t'a pourri dans notre place. Le 3 mai, il a renversé Riviera et il a mis le général Philippe Guerrier pour remplacer. Il a retourné à Clamilla, il était arrivé trouillard, il prend un bâtiment anglais, il partit à l'exil à la Jamaïque. Riviera, 4e président d'Haïti, est passé 4 mois et 3 jours au pouvoir. Après Boyer, Riviera, c'est 2e président d'Haïti qui était pris exil et dans le camp loin. Après le renversement Riviera, nous pas assister à un jouet cynique, un jouet criminel qui va le faire dans le pays, que il mettait au pouvoir un gouvernement de doublure. En 1804, l'Haïti était pour l'indépendance. Il était joué dans le pays à 2 classes haïtiennes. Une différente de l'autre. D'un côté, où tu trouvé les affranchis, et particulièrement les gens de couleur, qui étaient une chance à l'école et qui étaient lire écrit. De l'autre côté, où jouait une masse. Qui était un bon ancien esclave, qui n'a jamais chance à l'école et qui n'a pas ni lire ni écrire. Comme Constitisyon 1843 a déclaré que c'est le peuple qui va voter pour nommer président, qui donc, il était clair pour tout le monde que comme nous avons en majorité, c'est eux qui vont mettre au pouvoir président que vous voulez. Or, les gens de couleur, qui ont la connaissance, pas de que ça arrivait. Ils ont trouvé le parfait sens pour mettre un bulletin de vote dans le monde qui ne peut ni lire ni écrire et mentir pour la voter. Avec pile manœuvre, pendant 32 ans, ils ont réussi à contrôler la situation pays à la main. Pour ça, ils ont employé tout moyen pour mettre au pouvoir un président qui réunit 4 conditions. Premièrement, un général. Deuxièmement, il faut que le noir. Troisièmement, il faut que le grand monde. Et quatrièmement, il faut que l'analphabète, qui veut dire l'issolte. Comme c'est eux qui savaient, ils étaient derrière. A tiré ficelle le président, et finalement, c'est eux qui pourraient le diriger le pays. C'est ça que les mettait au pouvoir un gouvernement de doublure. C'est Philippe Guerrier qui pourrait l'ouvrir jouer le gouvernement de doublure. L'intérieur président, Guerrier, premièrement en général, deuxièmement il était noir, troisièmement il était 87 ans, quatrièmement il était analphabète, et cinquièmement, en plus de ça, il était mobile. Et on était toujours profité de l'aile sous pour faire signer n'importe qui l'autre, n'importe qui papier. Riviera en exil à la Jamaïque et 2 fois débarqué pour le renverser Guerrier. Après chaque évasion, il a arrêté en pile partisan Riviera. Le 12 avril, il fait Guerrier signer un décret sans que le patron connaisse, côté le mettait pays en état de siège, et il fait le monter au tribunal militaire pour juger tout le monde qui était supposé complice Riviera. 3 jours après, le 15 avril 1945, malade, le monde, Philippe Guerrier, 5e président d'Haïti, est mort. Comme réalisation, Guerrier décrit service postal, un lycée au Caille, un gros imprimerie avec un lycée au Cap-Haïtien. Le lendemain 16 avril, comme Constitisyon 1843 va jamais appliquer, le Conseil d'État est nommé Jean-Louis Pierrot, 6e président d'Haïti. Pierrot, encore, c'est en général, il était noir, il était un grand monde de 84 ans, il était illettré.
Thank you guys, thank you so much guys, thank you guys, thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We're not going to sit for that one tonight. Because my life, my life. Life is good. Life is good. Life is good. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yes, 4 million people in the house, guys. 4 million, guys. Let's take it. It is what it is. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. You got this, you got this. Oh yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Let's get connected, guy. Let's go, guy. Let's go. Thank you, my brother, for two beautiful red. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. It can slide that be right there. Yes, stay home, stay home. Thank you, my vlog, for sharing me out. Thank you. Let me get a 40-40. My life. Cocaine, you know, it's cocaine. What's cocaine? Chamber, Reda, Ditata. Thank you, Chamber. Thank you, Chamber. Thank you. SZ cameras out of the sky. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, cameras out. Thank you so much, Chamber. Thank you so much, Chamber. Thank you, thank you.
American public is that it's not working anymore. Biden's job approval at a 60% high, higher than Trump ever got. Voters also don't think he's, quote, radical. Around 100 days, Biden was widely viewed as more moderate than many, including the president he served, Barack Obama. And that's interesting because, of course, Biden has been already pushing $6 trillion in new big government spending, and Biden's moderate rating with 42% of voters isn't just higher than Obama's, it's higher than any recent incoming first-term president. We checked. Look at all those moderate ratings. And what's going on here? Political strategist Jay Comanduri says there's about 5 factors, and many are simple. Race is, of course, one, how people view something coming from Biden versus Obama. But there are also others, like the vaccine rollout. The best vaccine rollout in the world, Comanduri argues, is not going to be overseen by a, quote, senile old puppet. He also points to Biden's senatorial reputation, years of the public seeing him as a moderate, his avoidance of culture war traps. He doesn't get into the right-wing debates over Mr. Potato Head. Biden also does look open-minded. He's been taking these meetings with Republicans. Again, that Senate record showed he tried to do that. We've showed old clips of him trying to work with Reagan and others. But he also is taking heat from some in the progressive and BLM side for not going farther, which resets the entire game. And McConnell is out here often running the same play, but it appears the game done changed. And that brings us now to our deep dive political conversations. A very special day here on The Beat. We call it J-Day because these segments are informed by political strategist Jay Comanduri, who worked on 3 presidential campaigns. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you. How are you, Ari?
I'm great. Walk us through what you mean and what you see here in numbers that some of us hadn't even noticed, that Biden is seen as more moderate than most presidents at this point, and that he's getting more done sometimes regardless of policies that might be called big spend, big government.
Yeah, I think the reason that Biden is viewed as more moderate really says more about us as Americans than it does about anything to do with the Biden presidency. It says a lot about us that because of Obama's race, the GOP was able to use those racial dynamics to cast him as a radical in a way where they were able to fuse the races of.
Need to send money internationally? Download the Western Union app. Available 24/7.
Of xenophobia into a cocktail that Trump was able to really use to get himself to the White House. It also says that the way we view ideology in America, liberal, conservative, moderate, is primarily along cultural lines. We don't view economic issues or being economically liberal as making you liberal. Biden is most certainly economically left. He's spending more money than any president since the New Deal and the Great Society. He's spending it overwhelmingly on working class voters. He is clearly an economic liberal. We talked about it before, how much Bernie Sanders' rhetoric, style, and policies seem to now inform Biden. But he's viewed by the American people as being moderate because he stayed away from those cultural hot-button issues that the GOP is constantly baiting him with. He isn't talking about Dr. Seuss. He isn't talking about Snow White. He isn't talking about Mr. Potato Head. They would love for him to do that. If you remember, Tim Scott, in his response to Biden's speech, was really responding to a speech that Biden simply did not give. Biden is not a cultural warrior. He is an economic warrior who is trying to redistribute wealth and increase wealth for working class Americans.
And by the way, shout out to Mr. Potato Head. Fun for the whole family. I think when you mentioned the spending, I mean, yeah, Joe Biden is spending like either he just signed his first record deal or he's been holding Bitcoin for 5 years. I mean, he's spending like he's feeling flush. And as you say, suddenly that's different than even what was now the lesser or more moderate spending by Obama. Obama obviously gets this. Indeed, he's written quite beautifully about it, almost diplomatically. I mean, he writes, he doesn't write like a normal politician. He writes almost at a distance in a more kind of a more benign view of the public, and maybe that's because of, he wants to be nice. But he's talked about this too, as you know. You worked for that campaign, among others. Here was Barack Obama discussing this point.
My policies so mainstream that if I had said the same policies that I had back in the 1980s, I'd be considered a moderate Republican.
Jay?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's 100% accurate. He would have been considered a moderate Republican, like Lowell Weicker
in the 1980s. He would have fit in very well with a certain branch of Republican thinking. I think we used to call them Rockefeller Republicans. He clearly was very much a centrist, center-left politician. However, it didn't matter because of his skin color. His skin color and the fact that his father was a Kenyan immigrant to the United States, who later went back to Kenya, I believe. He had an immigrant story. So that created the Achilles heel, if you want to call it that. It's unfortunate that we think it along those terms, but it certainly was for Obama the way that Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, and others were able to cast him as a radical. And the American people, I unfortunately believe, bought it. I think that if you look at the polling about how many of them viewed him as a liberal, even though his policies were clearly very much center-left, they really did buy into, on some level, the fact that he was more to the left on the ideological spectrum. Biden has had none of those problems. I think part of it is an accident of his own birth and his body. He is a white man, and he's someone that we've known in American politics for 40 years. And so they've gone into this area of calling him a senile old puppet. The problem is that the vaccine rollout has been spectacular. It is world-class. It is probably the best thing the U.S. government has done in many, many decades. I mean, you talk about how politics doesn't work and how government doesn't work. Boy, this really worked. And if you look at the European Union, they just copied what Biden did to now increasing success.
All good points, and you're speaking to the fact that there are still...
Welcoming a new baby is one of life's most memorable moments. Let the compassionate and qualified team at Broward Health Medical Center's maternity place care for you and your new family.
Guys, 6 more minutes. 6 more minutes, guys.
Neonatal intensive care.
Real-world events that cabin things. We've seen, as you pointed out, a total
6 more
shift
minutes. Let's
among
get back.
independents. Some Republicans forced Biden as he governs. And yes, if that's puppetry, then give Dr. Fauci a spot full-time on the Muppets and bring on the puppets and the Muppets, and let's get safe and vaccinated. Jake Coleman, you always bring great points here, and you're quite clear and blunt about it, because I appreciate the points you make about racism and culture, which suffuse all of this. We need clarity these days. So, Jay, thank you very much, sir. I'm going to fit in a break, but welcome to The Beat. I'm Ari Melber, and we are tracking a lot of news for you right now. Brand new comments from Rudy Giuliani on the feds raiding his law office. Later, our special report on why Mitch McConnell's finding repeated failure despite using one of his classic moves for the Biden era. We begin right now, though, with an escalation in the intensifying sex crime probe into MAGA Congressman Matt Gaetz. He is under investigation for possible sex trafficking and possible sex with a minor. He denies all allegations and has not been charged with a crime. And here's what's new tonight, right now. Here's why this is the top story. There are brand new reported signs that investigators are reaching a critical point with news that they're pressing for cooperation from 2 key witnesses. And one of them includes Gates' ex-girlfriend, who interned on Capitol Hill, according to a story first broke by CNN and confirmed by NBC News. A source with knowledge of the matter tells CNN that she traveled with Gates to that Bahamas trip in 2018, and that she was involved in some of the financial transactions, which reportedly the FBI has now obtained. It is scouring for evidence of crimes. Another source saying the feds are, quote, nearly finished collecting evidence. Now, that goes to what they're learning and who they're learning from. Investigators are also waiting to hear more from Gates' indicted associate, Joel Greenberg, who has until Saturday to make a plea deal if he's to make one. I want to get right into this right now with Danya Perry, a former federal prosecutor from the famed SDNY, and Juanita Tolliver, Democratic strategist. And we have a lot more on another big criminal case, Rudy Giuliani, as mentioned, coming up. But when you look at all this, Danya, what do you see here in this phase with evidence and reports that they're going towards something?
Yeah, it looks like, as the report suggests, that they are nearing the end of the line here. We will see very soon if they provide Mr. Greenberg with a cooperation agreement. If they do, we will know that charges will be following from Matt Gaetz. They only will cooperate up. They don't seek smaller targets. So that will be the reason for them providing him with a cooperation agreement. So even though it may take some more time to develop additional evidence, including perhaps this ex-girlfriend that you just spoke about, and time for public integrity, DOJ officials to sign off on it, it will be a very clear sign that that is where they're heading. And the development that you mentioned, with the ex-girlfriend possibly cooperating is also significant because Mr. Greenberg will not be enough. As we've seen, there's that gift-wrapped, bow-tied bonanza of evidence that includes this detailed confession by Joel Greenberg. It sounds like actual receipts from Venmo and other cash apps, and witness after witness. But it will be very useful to have someone like this ex-girlfriend who was on the scene, who will likely be sympathetic. She was a college-age student, I believe, at the time, and will likely have supportive and corroborative information, which will be very helpful because no one's going to want to just take the say-so of Joel Greenberg.
Yeah, and we're in a reckoning here for the Republican Party. We have more on that later tonight, Juanita, but I don't know that on January 7th or 8th, people would have expected the party to be where it is, which is going much more towards the Gateses and the Trump family.
Hybrid networks can be a complicated landscape, a chaotic maze of appliances and devices, apps and data. And in that space,
fans and booting the Cheneys, Gates looked downright victorious, at least as a posture, if not a reality. We have some sound of him on this tour he did with Marjorie Taylor Greene in Florida. Take a look.
The reason they were repeating these lies and propagandizing my life is because I'm effective. Because I stand in the way of an agenda that will hurt my fellow Americans. They will not silence me. We will not back down, and the truth will prevail.
Juanita?
The fact that Gates is out here on tour with conspiracy theorists is wild to me, Ari. He's acting as though he's not under investigation. He's acting like there's no evidence tying him to Greenberg, and as though he's going to emerge out of this unscathed, right? Like, I think it says a lot about the party, but to your previous point, Ari, about people being surprised about the direction party of the GOP, I'm not surprised. This is the same party that spouted Trump's lies well before the election, protected him in his lies in the 4 years he was president, and continues to give him footing and give his base the attention that they require in order to, in their mind, be successful in the midterms. But I'm really surprised to see Gates acting as though he's completely unfazed by this, especially if this is the same ex-girlfriend who previously it was reported that she didn't want to cooperate with federal investigators, but now she is. If he's not shaking in his boots about this and all the evidence coming at him, I don't know what's going through his mind.
Yeah, and a lot of the headlines and the allegations are bad. Whether they are criminally chargeable goes to the evidence. Danya, walk us through for viewers what's coming up in the next several days, because you've worked in the famed SDNY office. You're someone who's been on the inside of these situations when most people are on the outside. If it's a close case or they're trying to do their level best, they're not supposed to be out to get anyone for any reason. They're supposed to see whether they have sufficient evidence to charge crimes. In this case, some of the possible crimes are quite serious. But they also have a duty, of course, not to go beyond what the evidence shows. What would the next few days look like as they try to firm up what we're told is the end of that investigative process and the witnesses and the defendant mentioned?
So right now, Joel Greenberg is meeting day after day, no doubt, hour after hour, with the federal prosecutors, doing what's called a proffer or a queen for a day, where he's immunized in part, but he is providing them with a full-throated, no-holds-barred account of everything he's ever done, everything that he's accused of in the superseding indictments that's already been filed against him, and everything else in his past. And if the prosecutors are satisfied that he has provided full and complete disclosure, and if they believe that he can help them support allegations against Congressman Gates, then they will finalize this cooperation agreement. They have a deadline of May 15th. And so that is no doubt what they're doing, while it seems at the same time pursuing other witnesses and trying to firm up the information that they're getting from Mr. Greenberg. So that's the next few days. And then, as I said, if we see that cooperation agreement, if he pleads guilty pursuant to that form of agreement, then almost certainly charges will follow. things can, of course, go belly up. It could be that he lies or commits another crime in the aftermath, or something else falls through. But that will be their intention if, in fact, they enter into a cooperation agreement with Mr. Greenberg this week.
Understood, and that goes to why legally it's a big week. Both of our guests.
We are surrounded by CPUs, or processors. Today we want to delve into what the microarchitecture of a CPU looks like, and what the main building blocks of the functions of that microarchitecture would be. Welcome to Architecture All Access, CPU Architecture, Part 2. Engineers are collaborating in new ways that will drive performance and solutions to problems of the future that we can barely imagine. So let's dive in.
Before Amazon, money was tight.
Guy, thank you so much, Guy. And it's time. It's 11:03, and thank you so much, everybody. And that's it for tonight. Thank you, guys, and appreciate you guys so much. And thank you. I see you guys again on another 2 weeks, probably. Another 2 weeks. Another 2 weeks, guys. Thank you so much, guys. And we gotta go sleep. Wake up early in the morning, guys. Early in the morning. He can say, Mom is mad. I'm cooking. Why she don't spank you? She should have spanked you. You take forever to cook. It gave me the trouble. Yeah. Where's your mom? Don't her, she gotta spank you, man. She's hungry. Yeah. You take forever to cook the food. She right. She gotta spank you for that. Mom, I'm with you. Let him know what's going on with that. AK is in trouble. Yeah, you take forever to get the food ready. She is mad. Yeah, she gotta be mad. She'll spank you. She say, you always woke up late. Yes, you are. She right. Yep, you always wake up late and you go to sleep late. And always. It can be in trouble. Yes, Mom, you're right. He always wake up late, and he always show up late on my LS, my stream. Yeah, Mom, you're right. No play. It can be in trouble. It can be in trouble. Sorry, Eke. Eke me in trouble. Yeah. No, it's too late now. For me, it's 11:10. I gotta go to sleep, and you can eat that late. That's why your mom wanna beat you, man, before you go to bed now. That's why your mom. So it doesn't matter what time you eat. It's no late. You know, people going to work 12 to 6. People start 6 to 2. It's at 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 4 to 12, 2 to 1. It's not like a late time. It's like every time is early because people never go to sleep. All somebody up, and it no different. See, he sleep late. Jeff C vlog. He sleep late. My vlog. Thank you for coming, my friend. We just joking, man. We just go to it off now. So he sleep late. Akem is in trouble, man. I gotta go have Akem. I gotta turn it off. I gotta have Akem.
Got the work order details. Right now you can see the field worker is Jim Elick. And the start date is...
Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the like, my friend. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for the like.
We're going to go click on the start date calendar, the first one.
Guys, thank you, guys. I gotta go. Bye-bye, everybody. 11:21. Thank you so much, guys. Bye. My vlog say... Like down. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the like. Thank you. Man, somebody give me a love. Listen to me. Boss say camera. Oh, he's the boss, huh? He's the boss. Everybody know here addicted to you say everybody to him. Everybody to him. Hey, see there were plates. Look at beautiful Lennon Brad. Lennon Brad. Thank you, sister, for coming. Thank you, beautiful sister. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Lennon Brad, thank you, guys. Thank you, Lennon Brad. Thank you. We welcome you in the house, Lennon Brad. C vlog. What is that? No, hold on. Lennon vlog. Thank you, beautiful Lennon. I'm great. I'm good. What about you? Beautiful. What about you? Thank you for coming. Thank you. So it's never too late. No, it's not late for you. It's late for me. It's not late for you. It's late for me. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's not late for you. It's late for me. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's late for me. It's not late for you. Thank you so much, Lennon, for coming. Thank you so much, Lennon, for coming. Thank you. It came to me to shut it down. So you know that you got more love in the house. I can tell, beautiful. Young lady. Yes, I can tell. Thank you for coming, Lennon. We are connected. I'm gonna check it now. Let me see, Lennon, if we connect. Let's see. It's easy to connect. Let me see if me and you connect. I think you probably connect with me now. My vlog show me a head. Thank you, my. Let's see if me and Lena is connected. I'm gonna make sure we are connected, sister. You got a nice channel. Let's see. Yes, we did connect. Okay, thank you, beautiful. Thank you. We did connect, yeah. We did connect. You got a nice channel. She thinks she that I think she pretty. She is shrimp, sinigang, quick shrimp, sinigang, quick shrimp. Na he hypo. I'm gonna leave my food for you there this year. Nice cooking this stuff. Akem is in the house. Akem say you got this, you got this, you got this. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you so much, sister. Akem, I don't know about Akem. I don't know about new person in the house, Sky, new person, Jervis, C Vlog, and Lennon. Yeah, I will show you on my vlog, Akem, and my butt. Like, yeah, you ought to see him, yeah. He always late, right? That's what you say? Yeah, you ought to see Akem, but he always late, right? Yeah, I'm always on Akem. Yeah, I'm always so Akem. Crazy Rappo Akem. He's a crazy guy. Akem is a crazy guy. Nice guy. My vlog is a nice person. Akem is a nice person. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. They're all nice. Oh, nice. Thank you so much, Lenny, Brad. Thank you so much, Lenny, Brad. Thank you so much. And I'm watching you. Where you cooking? Oh, I did see. My boat adventure, my vlog. I see. And J May, MCC channel. I see James C vlog. Yeah, nice channel. Let's see. She covered her subscribe. She covered everything. Thank you so much, guy. Thank you so much, guy. Thank you so much. Yeah, you gotta see me in my vlog, not my life, my vlog. Oh, look at all this love I got tonight. Not because of you, Akem. I got a lot of love, Akem. JC vlog, go watch my video. Lennon Brad, go watch my video. Thank you so much, guy. Thank you so much. Oh, she thinks she all that. She is all that. She is pretty, Akem. Stop, scam. My beautiful, my life is still in our song. So thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Yes, we did connect. Let me see me. Let me see if me and C vlog connect. HV HVC vlog, yeah. I gotta make sure to connect to everybody. That's what it is. Yeah, spell the man. HEV HEVC vlog. Okay. I don't wanna be a selfish. Yeah. C vlog 2.4 subscribe. Nice channel. Best of 2021 disco remix. No copyright. Really? Oh, she got a premiere going on to what 10 a.m. But it's 10 a.m. Philippine times. Chamber, I was jumping chair. Nice guy, yeah. This is all they can guy. This is nice guy. Oh, Jeff, Jeff Vlog gonna have a premiere tomorrow. I think at 10 p.m. I think 10 p.m. Philippine time. 10 a.m. I'm sorry. 10 a.m. Philippine time. 10 a.m. Philippine time. Let me make sure. Let me make sure me and you connect. See vlog. I think we did. No. Yeah, guy. Let's connect, guy. Let's connect, guy. Let's be friends, guy. No time. Don't waste time. Let's connect. Sandy of Mari, sing your love. Number 2, angelic voice. Yeah, I got the ad. I'm on your ad. I'm watching where the group of the young ladies singing. The song say singing Mardi of Angelic. Number 2 voice. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. Thank you so much, Lennon. Xing Su is ready. Connect to you. Xing is my second account. My father. Oh, wow. Thank you. Xing Su. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. See, Akem, I got a lot of love, Akem. Not because of you, Akem. Onion. Onion what? That's why your mom wanna beat you up. You cook too slow. That's why she wanna beat you up. She said you cooking too slow. And you always eat late. Always wake up late. Akem is in trouble. That's a nice song. There's no copyright for that song? No, you say no copyright. Gypsy vlog, yeah. Wow, they good. Your Love by Sandy Mardi. Wow, you should have, can you have her in your show sometime? I think that would help. Wow, I watch all of them, man. Nice channel, man. Nice channel. It's just like when my vlog is singing. So okay, let me go connect with Xing Su. Let me go connect with that too. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you so much, sister. Beautiful young lady. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nice to have you on board. Unlike you came. Mm-hmm. Unlike it can, let's see here, it can say what? Wow, some yummy food. Yeah, that's why grandma says she's hungry. Your mom says you cook it too long. Yeah, I gotta go connect with that also. That's all it is. You show love, I gotta show love also. That's all it is. No selfish. Aiken, no selfish. Shin Su. That means she the from Philippines. She the from Philippines, right? Shin Su the from Philippines. He told me I can get that. Is it spelled wrong? I see what's the Shin Shun Su review. No, it's not something. Oh wow, it's spelled different here. I did find it, but I can't find it what I put the spell it there. I found it. Did that you got only 167 subscribers on that. Yeah, 167. Why is that correct? Yeah. Yeah, she loves singing. She's a superstar. Shin Su. Lennon Bride also. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for the art. Thank you guys. Thank you. My two new friend in here tonight. That's why reason why it came still here. That's the reason why it's still here. Thank you so much. We go. I connect with you on both channels. Shin Su and Lennon Bride. Both channels. The other one not monetized yet. Right? No, it's not. Angie was there earlier, right? Yeah, she was. Angie, where have you been? Angie A can get in trouble now. Yeah, his mom said he cooking too slow. He in trouble now. I think spank him. That's why you don't see him in here. No, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, Lennon. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that you coming. And then now you and I connect with both channel. Okay, guys, that it's really it's gonna be 12 o'clock, and thank you so much, everybody. I need to go. I need to go. Is I wake up early in the morning, guys. I wake up at 5 in the morning, guys. 5 in the morning. So I need to go. Thank you so much for coming, guys. Thank you so much, JFC Vlog, and thank you so much, Lennon and Brad and Shin Su, and thank you so much, Ken Gonzalez and Chin Song. And my vlog, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I did appreciate that. Thank you so much. Because I got somebody just show up here. Who that is? I got somebody just show up in here. Who that is? Yeah. You can add the best. The best. A lot of love tonight, guys. A lot of love tonight. Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up. And don't forget to share me out also, guys. Please don't forget to share me out. Yes, Ken Gonzalez. I am there to support the premiere and need to attend my premiere too. Ken is in trouble. I think today is a bad day for Aiken. Aiken got a bad day today, huh? Aiken, good luck, man. I wake up late and I eat late. I sleep late. It's all about Aiken. Christian Filipina. My vlog is in my life. She's sleeping. ChristianFilipina.com. Oh yeah, Enchimism just have a premiere. You don't say that. Oh no, before I go, let me do that. Let me put I gotta put you on the machine. It can say premiere. It can is getting trouble today, man. It can is in trouble. It can is in trouble tonight. That's good for you, okay? You never be on my side. You're always against me. You always against me again. That's good for you. I'm glad you get beat up. Yeah, I know. Thank you so much. I know. Thank you so much, my vlog. Yeah, you guys did always support me, always. Unlike Ikem Gonzalez, no, Ikem is a good guy, always support me also. He always does. So. I learned that from a camp. Each time say I'm gone, and I'm still there. I learned that from a camp. A camp is made me addicted to it. You see, I'm gone, I'm still there. That's why yours does. My life, yes, me too. I'm happy to be here. And one of my weapons, really, they can to spread, they can make me sick. Stay home, stay home, stay home. Thank you, sister. Thank you. Thank you so much, guy. Well, you got to say goodbye to me. You got to say goodbye to me because I need to go to sleep. It can bring you dancing way. Yeah, young, beautiful. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Guy, bye everybody. Guy, I need to go. Guy, bye everybody. Can't stay for that. It's already 11:50. Thank you so much, guy. Thank you so much, Lennon, Brad. So happy to see you. The JFC vlog also so happy to see you. So, because you guys new and here, those people always there. Engine so my life, Ike Gonzalez, Jack, and Talking Amo, Melly Gonzalez, always there. Thank you so much, everybody. Good night, everybody. Guys, for good night. Chamber. Yes, Andrew. So, Jim, thank you. Same to you. Same to you, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, guys. I need to go. I'm very sleepy, and I don't see the sleep yet all day. Same since I did it. Lillian, Brad, thank you so much, beautiful. Thank you so much, beautiful young lady. Nice to have you on board. Nice to have you on board. Thank you. Okay, bye, guys. Ciao, ciao, guys. I see you guys again, maybe another 2 weeks, or I see you tomorrow. And I see you tomorrow with my vlog first. After that, A came, and Manuela said she's going to do a live every day, but we never saw her. We get a beautiful 9 million people in the house, guy. Thank you so much, guy. Yeah, make sure we get a thumbs up, guy. 9 million people, guy. Make sure we get a thumbs up. Yeah, see you at home. I just said it at my vlog. It came 9:15. What else? I don't know. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. That's why I love you guys so much. Oh yeah, okay. And then cooking namo at 7, cooking namo at 7 or 8. And then cooking namo also in the morning also at 8, which is that morning or PM. I got coffee with the time sometimes. That's why sometimes I always be at ACAM because ACAM, when I'm at work, ACAM always on my vlog also. Cooking namo also. Yeah. Guy, really bye everybody. Thank you so much, guys. Ciao, ciao. Hasta la vista, guys. I gotta do now, guys. Bye bye, everybody. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. Thank you. See you guys tomorrow morning with Akim. No, I'm sorry. My vlog. No, I'm sorry. Cooking Namo. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, JFC vlog. Thank you so much, Lennon Brad. And then Xing So. Thank you so much also, guys. Thank you so much, my life. Thank you so much again. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Ciao, ciao. Bye bye.